Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make a very quick and easy lasagna style pasta bake. So instead of using lasagna sheets, I'm going to use spiral noodles. And all I've got is onions, minced garlic, Parmesan cheese, classic tomato sauce or pasta sauce. You must get the 4 cheese mix, the melt from Perfect Italiano, and some olive oil, and that's pretty much it. A little bit of salt and pepper and you're right to go. So let's get started. As you can see, I've got a pot of boiling water there ready for the pasta, and let's fry some onions. Onions frying. Also, the most important ingredient, minced beef. I forgot to put it in. Minced beef, minced pork. Pork and beef is really nice as well. I've only got minced beef today, so that's all we've got. So we're just going to saute the onions. Water's boiling. Drop of olive oil, bit of salt, whole packet of pasta noodles. It's the 500 grams. Quick stir. Lid back on till you get it back up to boil, and then take the lid off. Otherwise it'll overflow. And continue to saute the onions. Halfway through the onions, put some minced garlic in. I like a lot, a big teaspoon. Just continue to saute. Now the onions are cooked with the garlic, and I like to take them out. Some people fry it in with the meat, but I add it to the cooked meat later. Tad more olive oil. And we add our meats. Now, there's a good little trick with adding your mince, any meat to the hot pan, especially mince, is let it get to room temperature. That may take a couple of hours. And then that way you won't get so much water or blood, protein running off from the meat, and it will actually fry up a lot better. So if you notice your meat's always very watery in the pan, it's because it's too cold going to the pan. You need the meat at room temperature. And I'll continue to fry that up. Also, while frying your meat up, I like to get my meat brown before I add any salt and pepper, because the salt tends to draw the moisture out of the meat and makes it very liquidy. Just another little tip. Just check on our pasta. It's come up to the boil now. I'll take the lid off. Give it a bit of a stir. And we'll continue frying our meat. Okay, meat's just about done. Just going to add a little bit of salt. I don't want too much in it. A little bit of pepper. I'm going to add a jar of Domino's. Nothing wrong with that in instant. It's really nice anyway. And all I've done is just put a cup of water in here just to rinse it out. Pour it back into there. I have got another jar if I need another jar, but I don't need it. Give that a little mix. Add my onions and garlic back in. Very simple. I mean, it's just making bolognese sauce. That's all you're doing, really. Now for a little kick, this is optional extra, you don't have to do this. Put about a tablespoon of my sweet chili sauce. It's actually not that spicy. And I'll always put about a tablespoon of tomato sauce, or as the Americans call it, ketchup. And that's it. Let that simmer for about 15-20 minutes. Make sure that pasta's cooking. You want it al dente. It's nearly there. Okay. Well, the bolognese sauce is cooked. Pasta's cooked and drained. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start dishing this up. All I've got is this Pyrex dish. You can use whatever dish you like. And all I do is put a little bit on the bottom first. As you can see, let me just adjust this. Okay, so now I've adjusted that. I just want to show you these instant lasagna sheets. This is the process where you would layer the sheets on the bottom of that, then you put a couple of scoops of your sauce, then you would sprinkle this cheese, okay, a handful over it, then you would sprinkle some Parmesan cheese and repeat the process about 3 times. But I'm not going to do it that way today. That's the lasagna way. I'm going to take the noodles and use the noodles as a pasta bake. So all I do is put a little bit of noodles in there. Very simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. Spread it out a little bit. Just pour your pasta sauce over, and if you don't want to do it this way, you can mix all your pasta and noodles together, but I like layers. And then we go for the cheese. Okay, so then handful of cheese. You don't need to make your white sauce for this, not at all. As little, as much as cheese as you want. Remember, there's a lot of oil in the cheese and a lot of salt in the cheese, and a sprinkle of Parmesan. And just repeat the process, except this time I put a little bit of sauce. You're probably only going to get 2 or 3 layers out of this. Probably 2 layers. It's not a huge batch. And I'm just going to dump the rest of the sauce over it. Lasagna is a lot nicer. You can put 2 or 3 layers. Again, top layer, put a lot of cheese. Cheesier the better. And that was a whole packet, by the way. And then a heap of Parmesan cheese. And then we throw that into a preheated oven, about 200 degrees, for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Depends on how brown you want it on top, because remember, all the ingredients are cooked. We'll get back to you then. Show you. I spent all day scrubbing out my oven, so it's now nice and clean. So she goes in for 30 to 45 minutes at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, about 350 degrees Celsius. There it is, just took it out of the oven, still sizzling away, nicely browned. And I love that crust on it. You can see, it's nice and cheesy. And it won't stay together, obviously, it'll fall apart. The cheese goes through that pasta. And it's yummo. I'll get back to you. Well, there it is. Looks yummy and crunchy. There we go. Nice crunchy shell. And that's my lasagna style pasta bake. Enjoy.